sådan har det.
Hello and welcome to BoB versus ULD. We're playing on Kokan today. Oh, unfortunately, my game auto detect is not picking up squad. Let's just move that one. Add a new source. So we've had a few technical difficulties today. Trying to organize the server. We're running with a 15-minute delay, so we're just going to set up. Unfortunately, I've not been able to do any of my pre-game, but that's okay. Kokan's a fairly simple map. There's not much to it. Most of you already know. Let's just do a quick flyover as we're away. So we've got a couple of techies, an SPG, plenty of bikes. Insurgents like making things go boom using bikes. They're at a significant disadvantage in terms of the vehicles. They will be playing against the Russians with 2 BTRs, 2 scout cars. Is it 2 BTRs, 2 scout cars, or 1 I think it's 2 BTRs, 2 scout cars. Insurgents will likely be wanting to rush as far and as fast as they can. So normally what you'd see, I'm going to say in semi-competitive squad, is some form of token flank towards Grandel, just to at least make people think about tying up some resources on Grandel, and then the vast majority of the team heading to Tempest Estate and or a rush to these kind of compounds. Maybe in the west here of Tempest Estate or to the west of Sarak. These compounds are good. Primarily, they can control this whole western flank, and they cut off the angles of attack into one fairly exposed tree line and one kind of pretty crappy open ground. Easily coverable from both buildings, so you've got hard cover. A couple of MGs set up behind some bushes, so on and so forth, blah blah blah. Russians, the advantage definitely on the Russian side in terms of their VIX. If they use their VIX effectively and can avoid the enemy LATs, keep these vehicles moving, they can use them to great effect. I'm hoping to see a couple of BTR hot drops here. In fact, it looks like ULD is doing exactly that for at least one of them. Right, yeah, so it's BTR, shipbox, and BRDM. A couple of the lodges there, with only a couple of people. I suspect they're the back caps. 30 seconds until we get started. This is the quarterfinals for the Squad Rivals Tournament. Let me just double check that I am actually broadcasting on my mic. Yes, I am. That would have been a good thing to do right at the start. Alright, here we go. So a couple of Squad 4 and Squad 2 apparently on the German side. BoB primarily is a German clan. Pretty good clan actually. I've been very impressed with how they've managed to really almost grow throughout this tournament. ULD probably the favourites in this matchup. They've pulled out some really good plays versus Spit and a couple of others in their Swiss brackets. The bike's leading the way. Nobody's crashed as of yet. That's normally what happens with these technicals. Let's have a quick look at the Russian side. They're driving out as a wee conga line. I spoke too soon. Petro Punk could just go straight into crash. Another one for the command. That is not what you want to see. A Logi just casually upside down. Let's get back in on the action.
Haben wir Logi geflippt auch im Moment.
Yeah, it did get flipped. You're right. Russians with the first ones heading into Sarak. Looks like they're going hard into Sarak. Multiple Logis. One heading south, one heading into the cap itself. No, one heading past cap. Ah, so it looks like ULD are going to put in aggressive FOB on the south side here of Tempest. I've seen this one before. It's called out. It looks nice. If they can get that placement. So I think BoB have really been set back by not having, by not being able to get their command squad down there.
Logi fährt durch.
It looks like ULD's also managed to push one Vic in. Let's have a quick look at the map. Switch over. So let's just talk about what we had in terms of that opener. Russians. Oh, hello. This one. Russians conga lined up from main, heading into Sarak and pushing across the top, with the second one setting up on the south side to control Sarak. It looks like we've got a bit. It looks like ULD have managed to control both Grandel and First Stand without any problems, engaging the rush maybe about halfway up. So overall, not that effective. And ULD now have good control over Tempest. BoB never even really made that proper push in. I don't know if their timings were just off or they crashed, but this FOB was really late to go down, and this FOB was quite early, but ultimately it's maybe a little bit too far away from the action to provide the stranglehold over Tempest that you really need on this map.
Weiter bitte markieren, now was ready.
ULD taking the center island as well. Just remix there, now having to hold off versus 4 coming in. BoB have managed to get their FOB down. Is the HAB placement up?
Ich brauch nur Marker.
Yes, so they are spawning. BTR is trying to be annoying, trying to prevent that spawn. Obviously the insurgents have the advantage of the double HABs and the buddy rallies. Russians with a pretty heavy optics advantage here.
The
King dropping his GL. Blick Blacks looks at where he was just about 2 seconds ago. Just dropped. So ULD in complete control of the first kind of 4 caps. BoB actually in a wee bit of disarray. They're almost fishbowl spawning into this HAB here. They're not really able to pressure back out. Quick look. Mortars landing center island. Not really doing anything at the moment. This is their mortar HAB. This is their one for Sarak. So placed in the open and away from the objective, primarily because they've gone hard onto Tempest and they needed to replace the radios. I would have maybe been tempted to put my rally out there, try and put the radio out in the field somewhere and get a HAB in a non-mortarable position. At least then, when the mortars rain down, you know they've got to find and hit a radio rather than find and hit a HAB to disable. Evidently, it works if you control Tempest though. Let's have a quick look. BoB pushing still into Grandel a little bit. Not sure where Squad 2 are heading. They might be looking for that mortar FOB as a harassment. BoB managed to get some control over the island east of Tempest. Review and Nazrat just being good friends. Nazrat just chilling. And then Review gives him a 1 star. Now
Captain
this
Market.
FOB has been called out right from the
Lottie
very
fährt vom
beginning.
Sarat nach Osten.
I'm not sure why the command mortars haven't been landing on it directly. This should be their one and only priority for those command mortars, is just getting this FOB down. ULD, given the reprieve, just able to push at will into Tempest. A couple of them managing to get around the back. Ushering Cobra goes down. Arachnoid is traded out from the refrag. Effie. He knew the guy was there. He knew he was there. He went to go. He sprinted
Zipper bei Market.
and didn't double peek him. Scarface is gonna go for the 200 IQ play. Pop pop. It's always easier to shoot the enemy when they're just looking in the complete opposite direction. Pro tip right there. Pro tip. Let's have a quick look at the pressure because it's now just started to switch a little bit. You can see this this little blob here, BoB, managing to pressure the mortar fob. There isn't actually an awful lot of spawns or pressure around in the Sarat cap. You can see the nearest relief is across the field, across this kind of road of death, albeit ULD controls it at the moment. If these guys can continue to block the mortars and you can get mortars down onto this hab, ULD could find them turning around, well, their advantage turning around quite quickly. That being said, they are swarming this cap right now. BoB doing the very best. FJ, don't go out there, boy. Oh my goodness, he gets him surf with the, well, let's call it ping.
BTR und Scout Car sind hier bei Sarat
Oh.
in der Repair Station.
Those are not land characters, and I'm not gonna even attempt to pronounce that. ULD characters takes down two, standing together in a doorway, holding hands. BoB just playing off of this rally. Is it using the
Ich lasse welche bei dir in der Hubspawn
Yeah.
bauen.
Shipbox is controlling the spawns off of the second hab here, and just using a little infantry to be able to pressure
Auf Mörser
the radio of BoB. This is actually quite a nice play. Prevent anybody else coming in or out, and then just playing one squad versus one squad. Hopefully out frag.
Wir werden im Osten umlaufen bei Squad 3.
Ah yeah, I've managed to miss this. Let's just have a quick look. So, one techie. Already missed first. Oh, one SPG. And the other techie, all abandoned. Now the SPG in particular, that is a big loss. It's a big loss. I'm surprised they're not at least sending somebody to try and get that. ULD just managing to clear out a couple of the BoB guys. BTR coming in to support. Now this hab should now be spotted out as
Wir werden
well.
gleich im Osten
Oh,
umlaufen.
one guy's in the hab. Mortar tubes are in. Flasher just there it is. Mortars are landing. BTR takes one.
Genau wo Flasher drin ist, ist auch die Hub von den Feinden.
Ja, HI kommen.
Hello? 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 What happened there?
Leer.
Okay. BoB with a really good push onto their mortar fob of ULD. That's going to go down. Well, it should go down. They just need to control the hab and have a look. Radius down here, Akka. Come on. Now, of course, maybe they meant to leave the engine noise on, because like from this distance, you cannot hear. You can't hear the radio at all, because all you hear is engine noise. That is high IQ play right there. So first FOB blood is going to go down to BoB. Now that's maybe a turn up for the books. That relieves a lot of mortar pressure, which is strong on this map. But ULD looking to trade it back on the objective.
Hab überlaufen ganz.
Two of them inside. That goes down. They are controlling it. Are they able to get up? Yep, they're on the radio. Sapper's on radio. So ULD is going to drop one of the FOBs on this side. And the FOBs on this side. King goes down. Fat Erk sits there. ULD now swarming onto this this FOB. So all of a sudden, this map has completely changed. What you're seeing now is one fob. Oh, hello. I'll get this to work eventually. What you're seeing now is what used to be ULD and ULD working together, pushing almost united front up the way versus almost a complete opposite BoB push. Now this fob's going down, this fob's going down, and this fob's going down, leaving the ULD fob as the only one available to spawn. So now you've actually got a cross market cap here. So you've got ULD pushing up across these two sets of open fields versus BoB, which are obviously trying to do the counter push. BoB have the advantage here because of the insurgents' ability to put down their extra rallies. Now what I'd love to see is a couple of nice deep rallies hidden away where you can get some buddy rallies up and just get into it. Let's have a quick look, because it looks like squad 2 is pushing into the one remaining ULD spawn on that cap. So it's spotted out again. Let's see if they can now use the mortar advantage, because obviously yeah, so ULD have lost their mortars, BoB now have theirs. They're very short. I mean, you could say that they're heading for this radio. That is, like, just the angle of that is going to be hard to hit. I mean, that one is pretty close. I don't think it's doing any damage. Maybe that started to hit it. I think a much more effective use of those mortars would be just drop them on the hab. Oh, there you go. That's a hit. That's the one. Nardi comes up to get that radio back up. Takes a hit. Maybe I take it all back. Maybe I take it all back. BoB playing this out on the insurgent side really, really well. Let's have a quick look at the scoreboards. There's 30 kills down on the optics low side. Much less tickets remaining, but it is pretty close. 70 tickets. Oof. Oof. I missed a big boom. See you later, Hab. So all of a sudden, ULD find themselves with the cap advantage, with the ticket advantage, but without any real spawns. They're gonna have to really, really push that. It's this one out the back here. Is that the ULD new mortar spawn coming up? BTR finds itself in a tree. This is the highest quality squad gameplay that you will see today. Guaranteed. Don't know who the driver was,
Mama, ich schicke noch 2 von mir nach.
but whoever it is should probably hang their head in shame. ULD now fishbowled essentially around Tempest. They have one angle of attack out the way. little skirmish out in the north towards ruins. Immediately marked up, and you can see BoB actually quite aggressively moving up there. You've got about 4 or 5 guys that have immediately turned and pushing that north side. It's actually quite nice. That's evidence of fairly good comms, or at least the squad using their map. So actually we've gone to a much more classic style of play here. ULD sitting around the cap, just sitting there with their scope advantage. I'm not sure if they know or want to push. Market is actually fairly exposed. If they were to just send 3 or 4 guys and just walk up the road, well, they would probably make it into cap. BoB have overextended slightly towards the back. I think they've managed to kill off the rally and will be moving back the way. A lot of pressure on this western side of Market here from ULD. BoB rotating to counter. There you go. See, Nardi just walks straight up the cap. He's going to encounter 1 person. But if he doesn't even need to crawl there. Oh, is he MG? Oh, hello, sneaky boy. Hiding in the grass, so sneaky free. Hey there, sneaky boy. Don't worry, it's only me. Yes, you can see basically feck all Nardi, unless you're looking in that direction. So, always like to check the MG positions. Always think MGs are probably magicians somehow. Always end up dying to them for no goddamn reason. Let's have a quick look at the scoreboards here. 76 to 108. Actually doing pretty well on the ULD side. Not entirely certain why I can't see it there. Oh, I can. That's fine. Nardi with his MG doing well. Raphael has managed to pop off a wee bit. Look good. KD's about here. Hello? Hello? So BTR just went down. I return my caster badge. That's a big loss there. Ticket advantage sneaks back down to only 30. ULD pretty much wiped off of the cap here, having to spawn off just 2 rallies. Only really got, what, that's like 10 guys? Less than that. 8 guys sitting around. Admittedly, strategic points on cap. BoB wiping out the flank as well, and now you can see a really nice line here that you can see from BoB. So they are all the way down this line and pressuring almost as one. Whereas ULD, you've got a pocket here, you've got a pocket here, and then you've got whatever this is up here. Actually, I know what that is. That's people trying to get back from main after they've been wiped off the cap. Now this boy is going to be interesting. Let's see where he goes. Hopefully he's going to head straight for this new mortar fob. Who are you? Oh, yep. I've seen this trick before. Let's be honest, you're not here for infantry plays. You're here to try and see sappers make things go boom.
Wir können dabei noch keinen Druck machen, wir werden gerade weggeschossen.
Let's go on board with Death Slayer.
Wir bauen uns jetzt kurz auf.
Rum.
Malle, ist fein.
It's like one of those Red Bull X-Fighter type. Hello? Hello? That was a fast turn. So he's sitting outside main. He must hear the mortars go. Where does he leave his bike though?
braucht Mörsern, hier ist...
Oh, he hit main bubble. Is that what it was? I was starting to think what the fuck that was. Okay. So bike is left.
Wo Salven kommen da runter. Check.
Mine's going down.
Check.
We'll get back to him in a second. ULD still really heavily inside, kind of inside cap. They're playing off their two objectives. They have managed to get their fob back up. So this is a really big anchor for them. They needed this because it just allows them to get a much faster replenishment rate on Tempest. And now they can afford to do the attack and defend. Confident they're going to be able to get both squads back to defend in time if needs be. And they can maybe spend a few more tickets on attack. Not a lot of BoB inside the cap themselves. They're stretched out east along these kind of road. And they're stretched out west as well, looking to play into that objective. Just trying to keep an eye on our good friend the Sapper. BTR pokes his head. Burns takes a hit. Barely unaffected, straight to the front of it. Scarface, I think it was. Just backs off and says, look, BoB, you're not getting in here. Sorry. ULD losing control of the island, east of Tempest. BoB, it was a nice push onto it. Yeah, still only about 30 tickets in it. ULD really need to be stretching out that ticket advantage here. Oh, that main road. Now, I really hope that Destler has not done, you know, the normal problem with these, which is just put them all in a straight line.
Momentan nicht. Wir kriegen aus Süden gerade Kontakte rein.
Hey there, miney boy. Oh. Do 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 do. Do 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 do. Doodle-doo. Oh, mine. That's a nice placement. Go on, Destler. Go make things blow up. Give me a shout before you blow. Oh. Is this going? Are they digging this down? Is it out of range? Is that what it is? Bushwhacker clearing it.
Osmo, ich komme mit dir und einen AT runter. Ich probiere euch zu helfen.
I don't know if Destler knows. Evidently, no one is going on that main road out of main because they would be utterly nuts to do so. If Destler just jumps over this embankment here, he might get probably the easiest kill of his life, followed by the easiest fall of his life. Shoot him. Pew! Pew! Oh! Here we go. He just walks up and says, "Thank you very much. You've just given me 11 tickets for literally nothing."
Lage, wie sieht aus? Sind die irgendwo voran oder nicht? Ich brauche eine ehrliche Einschätzung.
Who is the luck? Look at that! Like 6 shovels away. It's actually that's huge. Ticket advantage dropped to 20. Mortar fob goes down. Destler must just be thanking his lucky IEDs. ULD trying to get a little bit of a flank on here.
Ja, dasselbe wieder, was Nils gesagt hat.
This was the Logi that left from main. Let's just have a quick look and see where it's heading off to. Well, it's going into a tree. Yep, called out their
AI
hammer.
kümmert sich um District.
Yeah. So this is a nice play, but already spotted out almost immediately. Does ULD know that they're still playing Russians? They're trying to park up in insurgents.
Du musst den Schild halten mit mindestens 2 Mann.
Halfway through this
Asset
match,
nicht weiter drücken, ne? Hol einfach
it's
die
looking
Kills
very
ab.
close.
Wiederholen.
Hol einfach die Kills ab, nicht weiter drücken, Asset.
Ihr habt mir schon eine gegeben.
BoB managing to hold onto this flank.
Wir brauchen rechts
ULD's
Südosten und wir brauchen eins, wenn noch
losing
Südosten.
out
Gott sei Dank, dass wir
slightly.
hier hin.
Quick look.
Südosten
Krieg
kommt
ich
Market.
mach gleich.
There's too many people in that.
Im Flussbeck.
Hello. Here we go. Now this
BTR auf der Weststraße rein nach Market.
mechanized infantry, boys. Hey there, BTR. Oh, the hot drop. Beautiful work. They managed to get just enough of them alive and patching up to block that off.
BTR steht jetzt im Westen von Market, Südwesten.
Unfortunately, they're only taking out the secondary hab rather than the primary.
Meine ATs sind unterwegs, Mauer.
Scott 2 müssen einen Rally setzen.
So they must know.
Ich setze.
Oh, Talos gets it. That's a big one. ULD madness comes back in.
Unter 20 Sekunden.
ULD now has a pretty good hold in the inside of market. And is this the hab that they placed with that logi all the way around? Hello. That's just sneaky. That's just a sneaky snake right there. Brazenly, just straight out in the open. ULD pushing down. So all of a sudden, BTR smokes make its way out, leaving the infantry to it. BoB are now being heavily pushed on both sides. BTRs need to disappear, but BoB I think have the measure of this. They're managing to hold. They've got plenty of people on that north side. They've got plenty of people watching the angles that they're just not rotating around.
Ab wieder. Und wieder.
And yeah, BoB managing to push back into their own hab, probably clearing that out. So ULD with a really nice play, a nice coordinated push on both sides. But I don't see this. I don't see this really spread like winning here. ULD, BoB,
Ab wieder.
little clash on the eastern flank. But overall, BoB just controlling, containing, and limiting their ticket loss as best they can at the moment. I don't think they're going for the win on this one. I think they're going for a limited loss strategy with the aim of, on the Russian side, just trying to
Drop ein Rally, wenn du kannst, und schieb Richtung Süden
Just
rein
trying to
auf die
smash it.
Alpha-Position. Das sind noch mindestens 3 Mann.
There's some very excited German comms, which I assume means bad guys in this direction. You know, rough translation. Thanos snaps a couple of guys. BoB now on the back foot here. They still have their FOBs up. They still have control of the south side. ULD are pushing hard because they know they need that 60 ticket swing to really make it respectable win on the Russian side. I can hear the tracks of the
Asset,
shipboats
lass 2 Mann im Westen Asset, lass 2 Mann im Westen stehen, schieb den rechts Richtung Norden raus.
rolling up.
Mach ich.
Do they know where the radio is? Yeah, I think they do. Let's see if they can place it through. They do. Straight through that window. So that is an excellent rocket strike. Beautiful play there.
Ich kümmere mich um Lotte.
So, let's just follow the path of the rocket. Oh look, a little radio. Pop, pop! Whoa. Utterly destroyed, and all of a sudden Market is really under pressure. ULD already has that push into ruins as well. BoB really slow on the recall here. All their squads need to be heading back. Especially heading
Squad 3 irgendwo in den Compound zu droppen.
Yeah, they all need to be heading back into Market.
Versuch einen defensiv zu setzen und die andere direkt auf die Marke ins Feld, wenn es ist scheißegal.
Oh, big swing now. They'll get back to about 50 tickets. Now ULD, they actually really want to cap both these without bleeding out the BoBs if they can. Acid goes down to sleep. BoB just hanging on at the moment. ULD just able to get that pincer movement in on Market. This I don't understand how they called out that the Logi was passing all the way around this side. They had a bike leaving from main, and the bike didn't go. Oh, you know what would be a good thing? Let's drive and see where that Logi goes. Maybe it's just me. But this FOB has really messed them up. And that rocket strike was exactly as it's meant to be played. You really do have to be wary of windows and doors, especially on the side where you can get A10 or a rocket strike. You can drop that thing through the eye of a needle, pop those radios. The first grenadier smoke that I've seen of the game, which is a shame because it's probably the most, like, the strongest smokes. Don't understand why we haven't seen more of it as people have attempted to push. ULD smoking off the main road. Infinity gets dropped. I mean, I'm looking, but I don't necessarily even see from where. It must have been from Talos. That must have been a shot up through here. Through here. Yeah. That is some shooting. BoB now with a counter push on the flank back into Market. BoB know that they cannot lose this flag, and if they do, they need to then bleed out tickets really quickly, or they'll soon find out they need to bleed out tickets really quickly. Ruins will get capped as well, which will turn what was a relatively good. Oh, mouse cursor's not showing. Same, yeah. It's a flaw in my system coding, but you should still be able to see the lines on the screen. Hopefully, maybe I'll change the thickness and the color. Maybe blue is a bit hard to see. ULD, I mean, they're not really pushing out that much. They're not capping the flag. I mean, they have a fairly good stranglehold on this. They know that there's not an FOB, so why are they not taking the aggressive trades here? Thanos drops Fat Eric. Private goes down. ULD almost immediately, as soon as I say that, starts making an aggressive push into the cap. As they should have been doing for the last maybe 5 minutes. BoB setting up on the south side. BTR back on the field. Managed to avoid that tree eventually. Immediately takes an LET just to the front though. Doesn't really pen too much. They're not going to be that worried. BoB still playing off the flanks here. Managed to get another FOB down. Nutty boy. Hopefully it's called that out. Yep, mortar's dropping almost immediately.
Wollen wir Vehicle wasten? Hence no truce.
I would agree with you, Happy. BoB's AT just has not been as effective as it should be here. Their BTR now, however, has been hit hard. It is burning, Max is out and repairing.
Down
to the third tickets. Oh, of course, had the map open. BTR goes down. ULD, complete control of market now. Cap should be heading down the way. So BoB either need to just push as hard as they can into this cap and just give up those 25 tickets to avoid a 60 ticket swing. Or they need to do something fast if they're going to go into this. I don't even know if they're going to be able to do that. Multiple people staying dead for quite a long time here.
Wollen wir ab neutral?
I don't know if there is.
reinwasten?
Yeah, 17 tickets.
Moll kann notfalls Respawn eingeben, wir haben genug Leute stehen.
Yeah.
Ah ja, ab neutral wasten Tickets rein. Soll ich das mal allen sagen?
So, I'm going to go with rough translation of German because I don't know German, but I think what they're saying is see if when it goes neutral, let's just all respawn to prevent the ticket loss. It's going to be the end of that. ULD was actually a fairly decisive maneuver that just happened a little bit too late. Ooh, that's big as well. 10 ticket. 10 ticket drop. ULD gonna take this. Probably, yep, 69 tickets. 68 tickets to 3.
Machen wir.
BoB should be hunting Vix right now. Here we go. Game's gonna be over. Some really nice scores in here in terms of KDs. BoB just trying to bait a couple more ULD give ups. Maybe got one there, got 2. Go, every ticket counts. They're just waiting for the last minute. go. 62-0. ULD wins. Overall, really excellent play there from both teams. Some nice scores all the way through. ULD just with the stronger KD, and ultimately that outmaneuver onto the market cap is what made BoB collapse. Some moments of really nice play as well from BoB. At one point they had Tempest just surrounded, and it looked like it was going to be a big swing, but unfortunately it wasn't to be. First round goes to ULD, 63 ticket advantage. We'll be back with a 5-minute. We'll be back with a after a 5-minute break. I'm going to just load up a few of the replays from that first round. So stick around if you're interested in seeing how round 1 went. King dropping his GL. Blick Blacks looks at where he was just about 2 seconds ago. Gets dropped.
Bauer, wir kommen Scott zurück, noch erstmal mit auf den Bist.
Being good friends, Azrak just chilling. And then review. This got 1 star. He knew the guy was there. He knew he was there. He went to go, he sprinted, and didn't double peek him. Scarface is gonna go for the 200 IQ play. Pop pop. Right now, BoB doing the very best. FJ, don't go out there, boy. Oh my goodness, he gets him surf with the, well, let's call it ping.
Ja, hi, komm an.
Hello? Hello? What happened there? The embankment here. He might get probably the easiest kill of his life, followed by the easiest fall of his life. Shoot him. Pew! Pew! Oh! Hey there, EGR. Oh, the hot drop. Yeah, I think they do. Let's see if they can place it. They do. Straight through that window. So that is an excellent rocket strike. Beautiful play there. They're not capping the flag. I mean, they have a fairly good stranglehold on this. They know that there's not an FOB, so why are they not taking the aggressive trades here? Thanos drops Fat Eric. Hello and welcome back to BoB versus ULD, quarterfinals of the squad rivals match. This is round 2, ULD taking the first round in fairly extensive style, 63 ticket win. They were on the optics heavy, vehicle heavy Russian side, and we're going to be alongside them as we watch them roll out for the insurgents. So let's just get ourselves set up. A couple of things to note as we were just playing that last match. BoB had a really nice stranglehold at one point on Tempest Estate, managing to clear the halves that were originally placed by ULD around Sarek and Tempest respectively. They had that hold for such a long time, and then just all of a sudden it collapsed. They ended up just getting pushed in multiple directions. They had the Vix moving in, and maybe I think they might have just they had quite a lot out on this flank, which might have been overall not the best for them. What I'd like to see from BoB this round is a very aggressive push into Tempest, a very aggressive push onto this western flank, and then overall they need to take and get the roll on to both of these flags. ULD managed it. That's the right way to play this map. They managed it, but it just was too late for them to get the ticket swings that they needed to be able to make that work. ULD are now playing on the optics light side. They need to be wary of that and play with that 60 tickets in mind. So they need to not get rolled, they need to get their trades, and they need to get their revives. So no stupid shit where they end up they're dying, you know, up on the top of these ridges in exposed positions. That's no use to anybody. Hide, be a bushwookie. It's not fun, but this is competitive squad. We go into this match knowing that either
they never really rushed fucking Grandel, did they? They just sort of played around the north side of it.
Just gonna drop that down a wee bit.
Scout have laddered and shoot a couple of times.
So
okay. I'm trying to get into the mind of the enemy. You said.
We know that.
Damn, that's high IQ.
Yeah.
Shout out to Jerry.
Yeah. Shouts out to Jerry. Couldn't be.
Shout out to Jerry, because he couldn't be here.
Shout
Don't
out
worry.
to Aegis.
Shout out
Shout out to Aegis, man.
That's true.
So let's have a look. Let's see how ULD roll out from Insurgent main. I'm gonna have a quick look at Russian main while we're here.
Shout out to the code of conduct, keeping players in line.
It looks like they've set up relatively similar. Less in the no, still a kind of half squad in the BTR. It looks like they're using all Vix, one manning the scout car. So BoB really need to get a push here. They need to roll ULD and they need to get that 60 ticket swing. That 60 tickets is what, 1 cap? So easily possible, easily doable as we start round 2 ULD versus BoB. Let's have a quick look, make sure everybody gets out of main. No huge crashes as of yet. Of course, BoB had a bit of a nightmare start with their commander. Just managing to crash. Oh, it looks like that same tree has managed to take out one of the ULD guys as well. BoB, less of a conga line here on their start. They're not all heading up to Sarek. They're maybe they're quite slow off of this. Looks like ULD's hit another tree. Now, these bumps are just unreal now, man. I'm trying to drive through here.
We got scout guard on the push on Grandel.
Yeah, to be expected. Thanks for trying.
We got the sapper in position. He's been inserted.
So it looks like ULD's managed to drive pretty much directly into Tempest Estate. No real counter push from BoB. BoB happy to just play its Sarek for the moment. That poor techie tries forward and instantly gets wiped by a hull down BTR. Hull down BTR and a whole gun line of the Germans. ULD in still a better position map-wise. Multiple habs going up, one on Market, one on Tempest, one out on the eastern side. BoB playing very defensively for a team that's 60 tickets down. You know, maybe they were expecting a much bigger counter rush. Maybe they're going to play it slow.
Sadly so.
But if ULD just sit back here and take these tickets, you know, they can just hide at this point. BoB are the ones that need to make the moves. Corvair manages to get one before going down himself.
Heaps on the north side of Grandel.
Yeah.
You are right. There are. That's the technical term for it. Heaps. Remix goes down to Talos.
Oh, there's 4 gonna watch that with
Infinity getting a second hab.
Yes.
Looks like ULD, you know, for all of their offensive push, they didn't actually manage to stop any of BoB crossing these wide open spaces. Maybe they were just really scared of the BTR.
Directly.
Ooh. A mortar.
We're gonna lose this bridge hab.
A mortar immediately
Don't stress.
onto radio.
You may as well send something back to try to dig it.
I'm taking it out.
Oof.
So from here, let's try and get Az around the south of Sarak. We're not. Like, I know it's going to be.
So yeah, ULD being the more aggressive of the two, maybe fits in with their playstyle. BoB slow build-up play from them.
Because they're fighting on the capital.
Once again, there's coming a lot of resources into taking this this eastern side of Tempest on this island here, and they still have quite a lot of people kicking around Grandel.
Alright, I'll try and get a rally under the bridge south of Sarak.
Backgap's just progressing as normal. Nothing really to report there. Managed to get a little BoB contingent pushed past HC. He's pinned down by, is that an MG that's sitting there?
There's a scout.
One right next to you there.
Scout car.
Talos, they sneak move. Drops 2. Gonna lose their Tempest Estate on as well. This is big. This is actually really big. BoB need to push on quickly. Get this radio down. Squad 3 need to be pulled back here.
We need help at Tempest.
Infinity gets the call out.
The northern ad.
BoB with a good wraparound here, so they did manage that fairly aggressive push.
Take out these mortars, will get you a rally.
They've got the proxy on. They're going to disable it. The radio's right beside. Oh, now that.
There's 2 mortars.
That was a frag rocket right there.
Okay.
Yeah, go.
Leave long enough, they're just gonna surround and kill
So that's Sleek. Sleek with the frag rocket.
They're pushing me.
Managed just to
hard.
clear it up.
These helmet marks aren't really telling the whole story.
Beautiful work there.
That's where
Both
I
players were inside the hab. Not sure if they were taking down the radio or what. BoB. Let's just take a quick look on this side here. So, as you can see, BoB now has a
Enemies
fairly
running south
aggressive
side
push
Tempest.
out onto the east side. They've been wiped off of that western side compound. Nobody in the cap, in any caps in fact, safe and secure in the knowledge that they're not going to get pushed off as of yet. ULD manages to hold onto their radio
get
up in
your
the
rally
northwest
southeast
of
of Tem-
Tempest. They end up
Cool. That's
controlling
a good move.
quite a lot of the map. ULD very heavily concentrated into Tempest, looking to make a fairly small line, controlling the kind of two main aggression points onto Tempest. BoB, by converse, they did have a good push out onto this western side, and they did have a good push into the center. I think it was actually from Grandel they came to try and control this side, and now they're rotating up and around. My main issue is that it might just take them too long to put on useful pressure here at this point, and what they really need to do is start collapsing this in quite quickly, either getting pressure into this hab at the north, which they expect there to be, or into the north side of the cap here. Fully expect this radio to go down to mortars. That should be the #1 priority
That's right.
for
Is that
BoB.
really-
I mean, the mortars are going, that spread, making them just not quite as effective.
I can't just get up. Yeah.
This guy's found west.
I mean, it is dropping, but
West of,
I'll get these mortars.
Tempest.
yes, it's just going to take a wee bit longer. There it goes. That's a bit unfortunate. UAV immediately goes up. So they're calling in the UAV to check that it's definitely dead. I've actually just got a couple of people nearby. ULD still with good control inside. They've immediately replaced
Each of the map, east of Market, guys.
inside
Careful
Tempest,
of more
and they're just going to place down 2 more FOBs inside Tempest Estate, and manage to control that way around. BoB with a little bit of pressure out on the eastern side again. Sorry, western side again. Eastern side completely under control by ULD.
Oh, I'm gonna move on.
Yeah, Habs marked, so Commander is able to pick up the Habs immediately from inside Tempest. BoB just playing off a rally south side here at Tempest Estate. Tempest Estate is now
If you can
captured.
get us a marker on their mortar tubes, we can just counter mortar them. It's in range.
Well, I can just shoot them both off.
Yeah, okay.
BoB with control of that western side compound. ULD just happy to let them have it. Mortars rain down on the Hab almost immediately. First Hab reduced back to Blister. Nice thing obviously about Insurgents, just place another one somewhere else.
I'm being into
That being said, they haven't. And with BoB pushing in on the south side here, they can find themselves in some serious trouble here. Thanos needs to clap out a couple of people.
Get another Hab up there, Tempest there.
Managing to drop another Hab into the same position that Hab just got mortared out of. Going to use it for control of this western compound. But Review and Infinity just fighting one another. I think I heard a nade.
Let's get
It's a bit short, but at least he knows where you are. Hab's back up. Review's time is limited. Multiple now spawn. He's going to get pushed out of there. ULD manages to get a good push backwards, back into the mortar fob
Bringing a lot
of
for West
the
down
Russians.
Tempest.
Well, the German Russians. Away it goes.
Mortar fob gone.
It's 10 tickets right in the bag. They'll probably just head north and head straight to Grandel, knowing that there's infantry kicking about there. ULD with a nice rally. Maybe not quite so close to the road would be ideal, but even still, this is a good place to pester
Did
foe.
Maddie get a fob? Is that what I'm hearing about Serac?
Yes.
Inside.
Still Seracs fob, yeah.
Oh, well,
We're in position to cack a reset if they get one. They're driving a lodge in now.
I'm spawning there with a bunch of squad now.
Oh, hello. BoB
He's
going
definitely
for the
right on
aggressive
west of
fob
Serac somewhere as well.
up here on this western side. Serac
Yeah,
is
what is
under a
up?
little bit of
Okay.
pressure, but nothing, you know, it's 1 or 2 people here. BoB continues to push.
How did they get a header?
Just drove it in, bro.
Sleek goes down to review.
Hab. I'll mark up this hab accurately.
Hab's up now, so let's see. Needs a mass spawn from BoB here.
That hab will be up now, it's accurately nice.
Yeah, careful. No, that's
Yes,
guy
indeed.
himself. I should have said. Sorry, I didn't realize you were.
Need a mass spawn to push back here. Talos immediately goes down. Plixpax is in
Yeah.
trouble. Antonio takes one.
We need to stop playing defense and just get more pressure on Serac.
Yeah, we can't
I
leave
don't
this
know
swab
what.
up. We can't leave this swab in the west.
Yeah, absolutely right. This is 10 tickets
everyone-
and it's in a tight engagement.
Before we can get a proper push going.
Remix should see it. Remix had his rocket out. Art, I think, takes him down eventually.
Just fucking hammer them from the north, dude. They're looking south.
Yeah, exactly that's what I'm saying. How can we get you guys to go south? Infinite Island.
That is a
Okay.
danger pickup.
If you don't get it,
No,
I got 2 guys, hang on.
Teak takes him down from behind.
Shit up for proxies and I got my
Both
What you got up?
Teak and Plickplex
Run,
terribly.
He
run,
Nades in.
TK.
Oh, fuck. Get back! IED!
The panicked shouts as the BoB hab goes down, overrun,
Full squad coming in on the east
gets
side.
dropped.
Enemy
BoB has used that pressure though to control this side, and now we're walking onto the hab, center of cap. This is some nice 1-2 play here. Set up an aggressive fob. Yes, they lose it, and now they're starting to make some progress into cap. What they have to do now is really capitalize on it before all of those reinforcements that were on their old fob get across.
How'd you go in, Finji?
Yeah, it's dead.
BoB's counterattack looks like it has been wiped.
There's an
pretty
enemy
much.
squad, and there's a whole enemy squad coming from the east side of Tempest.
Well, there
Yeah, I'm gonna
was,
try and push
and
them
then you killed them.
or whatever shit they got out there.
Have a quick look at the map. BoB looking to reset. Ticket's very close. Still with a little ticket win for ULD here. BoB really need to push it up a gear. Only a 3 or 4 kill advantage on that optics heavy side, on the vehicle heavy side. They need to start using that a lot more. Getting these kills and really punishing ULD. Just noticed it's very quiet.
Dealt with the south. South is clear. The east is what's dangerous right now.
Primarily
The
because
east is
no mortars
east
are
of
dropping.
Tempest is the problem.
both mortar fobs have been taken out on each side respectively. BoB still with the 2 fobs, one on Sarek, one on Grandel. ULD only one. Well, they have 1 fob, 2 halves inside Tempest. We'll probably look to return that Logi, get their backup and mortar fob up again. He'll be just slow pushing.
There's a lot of 5 tickets hanging around. Yeah, we're grabbing the North Logi now. We'll bring it down to Tempest.
That's something that I've noticed that ULD are actually very good at. Is making sure they're picking up assets and returning them to base, or returning them to something that's useful. I've done it in a few games now, where you know, quite close tickets. If you kill all those Vics, it's what, like 30 tickets in the bag. That's a whole cap right there. Yes, a lot of the time it's better off to just leave a stranded. Oh, Thanos! Oh, lucky boy! To leave a stranded Logi, and that means they can't get it back. But sometimes it's better off just taking the tickets when you can get them. Make sure they're dead. There's actually quite a lot of pressure now from ULD heading towards Serac. Even with, you know, pushing into an optics disadvantage here across open ground, a lot of them have made it onto this north side of Serac. A quite good line. And here we go. First person on the BoB side goes down, which means ultimately everybody rotates up looking for it. Engine on. That's the BTR starting to move, looking to cover. ULD could find they lose quite a lot of tickets on this push if they're not careful. BoB controlling that western flank once again.
Enemy 45 is here.
Scout car, or is it just MG? That's a dirty position right there. That's dirty. Very nice. Heavy mortars dropping in. Serac. I think BoB were synced back. They knew that they were going to get pushed by ULD, but they are trying to make some aggressive moves of their own. But they're losing out here. You know, kill advantage is going to insurgents. Ticket advantage is going to the insurgent side. ULD is just outmaneuvering, out-aggressioning BoB at every turn here, and ultimately out-shooting them. Yeah, East Side Tempest is a little bit weak, but it's been called out so early that even if that squad goes down, they can easily respawn, get into these compounds before they can even get across. Mortars for BoB are back up. I've missed that sound. Looks like one tube is going for each hab to try and take them both down.
They rally might get spotted from the north. Let's go for.
ULD did manage to make it. You know, a couple of bodies got inside. Well, let's just say sleek. Manages to sneak past the gate, but is ultimately completely destroyed. ULD's attack whittles down to nothing. Kill advantage swings the other way. But as long as it remains this close, ULD will be happy. actually just a slow war of attrition here. No big moves coming in from either side for a while, I suspect. BoB should probably be starting to get a little bit desperate once they hit the kind of 120 mark.
Mortaring is Tempest again. Havoc Tempest again.
Oh, it's kind of getting mortared. The mortars are landing north side. Might just be the poor spread of them, but... Now, you can just see from this kind of high position, just the kind of control that ULD has over Tempest at the moment. You've got, you know, you've got ULD, a nice circle, nobody really coming in from BoB. They've managed to completely clear this compound. They occasionally get pushes from the Hab on Grandel into this side, but immediately as soon as they do, they've got one or two that just call out, and all of a sudden counter push, get the kills, get the tickets, and then they get out. All in all, really nice defensive play here from ULD. They are still trying to put a little bit of pressure, but the key is they're not putting too many tickets on the line. You'll see maybe one kind of flanking squad or one kind of two-man NG squad that seems to be pushing around, just probing, just making BoB think that there's a bigger attack coming. And in doing so, BoB are concentrated really heavily on their defense flag. And their only angle of attack really is this one place which ULD has locked down. Unless they start to move, they need to break out of this compound, or they need to use their flankers, which are kind of off screen, like way over here somewhere. If they can get them in, get them into a more aggressive position where they can either cover this approach, or they can even try and get down the side here, then they'll start to see some results. But until they do, they're just going to come up against the ULD wall of guns. And that, my friends, is going to be a bit scary for them.
They push into that
ULD now with actually pretty big push into Sarak. Ultimately, I think that goes ticket negative for them real fast. Yeah, they've dropped. So each attack, each wave of attack has lost them 5 or 6 tickets here. So while they were, you know, super worried about leaving lodgies, bikes, techies out on the battlefield so they can recover their 5-10 tickets, just constantly waving guys apparently is no consequence.
Mortar stop.
I know that they need to put on a little bit of pressure to make ULD think, but they were doing that with like 1 or 2 people. Either that or go and take out the Grandel fob, because you know that most of BoB is sitting in a circle here. Get 1 or 2 people, go take out a fob, get your 10 tickets back. Their Hanner manages a nice solo push.
We need to take advantage of this little push.
Yeah, I think he's spotted out. They know where he is. Or at least they should.
If you're pushing in east side again as well. Pushing in east and west at the moment.
Stand
We need
by.
to get more pressure on.
I'll drop tubes on that berm.
Oh.
Try and cut reinforcements.
How many seconds you got?
Surprise!
Just crushed me.
Still at 255.
Oh, so he manages to get 1 more,
That's what.
and then he goes down eventually. Trashman takes him, so that's going to be a 1 ticket loss there for BoB, because Keith will go back up, and then be able to pick up everybody else. BoB has managed to push into this compound here. I'm not entirely certain how. I think ULD's maybe committed too much on their attack. Yep, BoB pouring in now, east side of Tempest.
About to get the mortar ball.
Yeah, they did go for the mortar fob eventually. Yep, they did. They've got that. BoB pushing hard into the center of Tempest now. This is probably Their best attack from BoB I've seen in a long time here. Dallas looking to control the main road, so he's looking to control that lane.
Listen, we're giving ourselves 2 opportunities.
Didn't clear the compound on south.
Logi ready to come in.
We're fucking
Plenty of
slicking on
time,
this
plenty
shit,
of
so-
time, boys. I got plenty of time. Plenty of time.
People are inside.
Moving in.
Maybe drag me out of the doorway or something.
Dude,
I got killed by the guy west
Give us
coming off the
a
south
drag?
end of the building.
Oh no.
Fucking direct. Just
Yeah,
yell
do it,
to
do it,
run
do it.
on. Like,
Yeah, ULD managing to control that push.
just leave fuck 4 guys defending
Who's,
you.
who's got
Just,
4? Who's
just
got
look
4?
at,
Send
just
guys
look at
down.
that. Like, what happened to BoB? They controlled this entire compound. They had guys on the south. They had more reinforcements walking along. And all of a sudden they just melted. They walked into these corridors, they walked into here, and there was one guy on this side, and they've just been melted.
Can we get a Logi just on to fucking switch
Only
as well?
person
All my guys
alive
are
here
bring
is
all the
Acid.
guys on infin.
And he is unfortunately not going to do very much on his own, unless he is a sapper. Nope, I saw. Very useful. And all the while, BoB under pressure on their own fob here now in Sarak. Ice Cream just drives the Logi straight in. Multiple smokes goes down.
Yeah.
You got supplies?
Bandaging, someone's bandaging.
You're pretty group content.
Yeah, looks like BoB is in a bit of trouble here. 30 tickets down, pressured on their defense flag. A couple of them go down off the towers. Houdini
He's on the left
Yeah.
side. Left side.
looking to make some magic. Drops 2,
What the fuck?
goes down to Warlock. Warlock drops them both eventually. Goes down to Private using the exact same route.
Rally squad. They have a Logi still there.
And once again, ULD.
So
So ULD's attack fizzles out to nothing, just as BoB's did. BoB under control in Sarak. ULD under control Tempest.
Team menu wasn't working. Spot.
Do we
Death
just wanna
Slayer
fuck-
looking to snaky. Slowly. Quietly. Gently. Crawling through the fields.
Listen, we still have an opportunity. I don't think we've reset on this, right?
I don't know.
Actually, it looks like this FOB was blocked for a wee second there. Madness eventually goes down.
I think it's still possible.
Last man goes down.
Sorry, yeah, we should just push as a group.
There's no need
Okay.
to play this fucking risky play. Once we hold tickets, we pretty much win.
It's not risky. We've wiped them off Sarak, and
The
the
fact
cap
that
is
you
free.
haven't taken
We
it
have-
yet and we're still getting pressure on Tempest tells me it's risky to push everybody up.
You should listen to Art.
Yeah.
That's
Also
another
disagree
beautiful little
But this
MG
is the
position
second
here.
one after Fob, Sarak, and we
Protected
didn't
on
have-
that side, just
Okay.
controlling. He knows where he wants to be in.
Go south. My squad to stay on defense again. Everyone go fucking south. Just do it. If you can get on, fucking do it.
Oh, this is a risky play here.
Just go smokes.
BoB have reset. BoB are getting their gun line back up. Now, if the smokes are used effectively, drop that north side. Yeah, spotted out immediately. Nazrat dropped off of his rally, manages to place it just in time. And then immediately gets popped by Jill. ULD just going straight down the middle here. Tickets remain close. Within 20.
Alright, well, I've got pretty decent rally up for sorry.
Don't walk on the road, just walk down the berms. Guys, walk down the field.
Duh.
Do it. Do it.
ULD going for the straight up push. Here it comes. Here comes the smokes. That's their call. That's right. Got back up. BoB pushing from not entirely certain where, but still really far out in the east. Multiple inside.
They might have rallies south of Surat, guys. They got rallies. As far as we know, they've got no fob still. But they're playing off rallies in the field south.
Definitely not true.
Naz right rallies.
That's right. Drop to loader.
TLB goes south and goes rallies.
Enemy Lodger is trying to race, is driving back to main. They're probably trying to race.
Raphael manages to get inside.
I just saw a Logi disappear in the distance.
Stay with Nutty.
This is how we get the point here. We just need to make sure Tempest is...
ULD have managed to get into...
Tempest is good. Tempest is good. Go, go, go.
Oh. Just comes along. Looks over the wall. Talos is there. See ya and good night. This is their FOB they're able to play off of. So it looks like ULD believes that there is no FOBs kicking about. They have got the rally squish. They're just going for a bit of a smoke, a bit of a run.
Got the MG in.
Take it to Naz or Arkanoid.
ULD have managed some good pressure in, but this FOB is the primary defensive spawn and they just can't get close to it. Yeah, Hab's called out now. Kills have gone back onto BoB's side, but only 5. ULD need to either fully commit, get wiped, and then get back, and then just turtle for the rest of this game.
Yeah, use my...
Yeah, rallies are down. Oh, this could be nice. I wonder if this has... It's got supplies.
Raft it around. Come to me.
We're slowly choking this. Slowly choking this. Yep.
Can you go out
There we go. Multiple goes down. Nardi's making a cross. He takes another.
Nice.
That's going to be the Hab blocked. Hab is proxied.
Proxy on
There we go. That is the cap. ULD now with a really nice push. You can see BoB's mistake there. Let's just drop back out. So that was a textbook push there from ULD. They sensed a little bit of weakness and maybe that wasn't the play that I would have gone for, but they went for it and they fully committed, which is the key thing there. They actually pushed down these 2 channels and managed to get smoke mortars off of this top one. While BoB were spawning, they were still contained within this southern side, and anytime they did push across, they ended up getting killed almost immediately from guys that had wrapped around on both sides. All of a sudden, BoB panicking, they're starting to head out of the cap towards the south, trying to find rallies, trying to get some pressure back on the sides. By putting their main front, getting their spawns and most of the infantry exiting out the south or waiting on this northern edge, they ended up giving away a lot of the cap pressure, allowing ULD to set up uncontested on this northern side and eventually get a much better wraparound into these 2 channels. They didn't mean it, but the shipbox drive-by to kill the rallies, so they thought that there was only... Because all the spawns were coming off the backside and lots of people were popping up from behind, they called out that they thought they were playing off rallies from the south of Sarak. And they managed to get their shipbox to drive along and just do a big loop. It's not really it's not really like gambling the tickets of the shitbox too much. You're going to be constantly moving, and unless you get a track, you're going to be in, you know, that thing's not going to go down. Even if you do get tracked, by the time they get enough LAT on you, you know, you're probably going to have infantry supporting. So killing those backup rallies meant that once they eventually had that stranglehold, they managed one single push, get to proxy range, and the game was over. BoB now are still continuing to play off of rallies and still continuing to push, but ultimately this game is now a matter of honor for them. They're not going to be able to get this back, get the tickets, and be able to swing this around in time. 24 tickets to ULD. Yeah. It's a bit unfortunate that the shipbox hasn't been tracked there, or is engine. Gets a little low tap. Eric will take that one. No bother. Oh, that is a beautiful hit by Raphael. Now that is an LET. And that is how you trade back. What a way to end the match. 81 tickets overall, 144 ticket win for ULD, who advance through to the semi-finals of the Squad Rivals Tournament. Stick around, we'll just load up a few of the replays from the match. Thank you very much for watching. Thank you very much to both ULD and BoB for the excellent game. Let's just change this up. So, match overall, what did I say? 144 ticket win. And just add in the videos from this round. As I said before, the ULD defense was just really effective, and then ultimately their pressure on Sarak, when they did commit to it, you heard, you know, Art saying don't do it, and then they went, no, we're going to do it, and then it was, right, well, if we're going to do it, everybody's going to go. We are all going to go together, and that's a really important call for any team, because if you are going to commit to an attack, if you are going to commit to a way of playing, either everybody has to or nobody is, because if you do half and half, it ends up being useless. Overall, a really nice play from ULD, and these are the match, the full match highlights. Enjoy. King dropping his GL. Blick Blacks looks at where he was just about 2 seconds ago. Just dropped. Being good friends. That's right, just chilling. And then review. This is 1 star. He knew the guy was there. He knew he was there. He went to go. He sprinted. And didn't double peek him. Scarface is gonna go for the 200 IQ play. Pop pop. Right now, BoB doing the very best. FJ, don't go out there, boy. Oh my goodness, he gets him surf with the, well, let's call it pig.
Ja, hi, kom maar.
Hello? Hello? What happened there? The embankment here. He might get probably the easiest kill of his life, followed by the easiest fall of his life. Shoot him. Pew! Pew! Oh! Hey there, EGR. hot drop. Yeah, I think they do. Let's see if they can place it. They do. Straight through that window. So that is an excellent rocket strike. Beautiful play there. They're not capping the flag. I mean, they have a fairly good stranglehold on this. They know that there's not an FOB, so why are they not taking the aggressive trades here? Thanos drops Fat Eric. The technical term for it. Heaps. Remix goes down to Talos.
Oh, there's 4 gonna watch that one.
Infinity.
Left, right next to you there.
Sky car.
Talos drops 2. They've got the proxy on. They're going to disable it. Radio's right beside. Oh, now that.
There's 2 mortars. On this.
This guy's far west.
I mean, it is dropping, but
I'll get these mortars.
it's just going to take a wee bit longer. There it goes. Now, absolutely right. This is 10 tickets, and it's in a tight engagement.
We can get a proper push going.
Remix had his rocket out.
Gunner.
Deacon Blickplax.
Run.
Nades in.
TK.
Oh, fuck. Get back! IED! What the fuck?
Goes down to Warlock. Warlock drops them both eventually. Goes down to Private using the exact same route. Yeah, spotted out immediately. Nasrat dropped off of his rally, manages to place it just in time. And then immediately gets popped by Jim. Stay with Nutty.
This is good point here. We just need to make sure Tempest is...
ULD have managed to get into...
Tempest is good. Tempest is good. Go.
Oh. Shitbox. Guess we'll drop that. Eric will take that one. No bother. Oh, that is a beautiful hit by Raphael. Now that is and that is how you trade back